Hello, dear friends. This sounds like religious news, but it is very important economic news. Opinion piece. The Pope calls for a debt jubilee. Vatican Jubilee year in 2025. Restoration of financial balance. Year of hope and global renewal. Cancellation of forgiveness of debts. Millions of pilgrims will arrive in Rome. New international financial architecture. Let's start. Pope Francis called for a new financial system and a debt jubilee before the Vatican's Jubilee year in 2025. He regretted that poorly managed globalization has deprived millions of people from a decent future. In his opinion, to try to break the cycle of debt financing, it is necessary to create a multinational mechanism based on solidarity and harmony between peoples that takes into account the global nature of the problem and its economic, financial implications and social. Pope Francis called for a new international financial architecture that is bold and creative to address the problems of debt and global inequality. Therefore, Pope Francis called for a new international financial architecture as part of the preparations for the Jubilee of 2025, which, which seeks to be a year of hope and renewal worldwide. Hope. The Jubilee of 2025 is an ordinary Jubilee that will be celebrated in the calendar year of 2025 according to the established periods of 25 years for it. In the 2025 Jubilee has as its theme Pilgrims of Hope, as it will be a year of hope for everyone suffering from the effects of war, disease, and famine. Millions of pilgrims will arrive in Rome for the Jubilee. The Pope called for a new international financial architecture to break the cycle of financial debt that has contributed to a current global debt estimated in $313 trillion. In quotes, we find ourselves facing a debt crisis that mainly affects the countries in the south of the world, generating misery and anguish, and depriving millions of people of the possibility of a dignified future. Francis said on June 5th. Consequently, no government can morally demand that its people suffer deprivations incompatible with human dignity. It is likely that when he talks about the global south, he is referring to and supporting the BRICS Plus ongoing development of a new currency and a new financial system backed by gold. His emphasis on the interconnectedness of global financial stability highlights the moral imperative for global financial leaders to act. The current collapse of the global fiat debt crisis system The current collapse of the global fiat debt system underscores the urgency of his call as he world as the world cannot deny or wish away these critical issues. BRICS Plus development of a new global backed currency and financial systems offer a tangible solution aligned with the Pope's vision of the future or for the future. According to Mike Christo 8, the Church of Rome doesn't want to be excluded from the new BRICS monetary system. Pope Francis publicly calls for a new international financial architecture. It seems like everyone except the normal ones knows something is up. The Vatican has made progress on financial transparency, with the Financial Supervision and Intelligence Authority detecting 123 suspicious activity in 2023, 6 fewer than the previous year. The Vatican has also signed information exchange agreements with 9 countries in a context of increasing complexity of international relations. Definition: a debt jubilee is a proposal to alleviate the debt burden of the poorest countries but it requires a comprehensive and equitable approach to be effective and sustainable. It refers to the cancellation or forgiveness of debts, especially of developing countries, as a way to alleviate the debt burden and promote economic development. The idea of the Debt Jubilee is based on the biblical tradition of the year of Jubilee, when debts were forgiven and lands were returned to their original owners. Several experts and organizations have proposed the Debt Jubilee as a solution to the debt crisis facing many countries. This would imply the permanent cancellation of foreign debt payments that mature in 2020. The Debt Jubilee is seen as a way to restore financial balance and avoid an economic depression by freeing up resources for debtor countries to invest in its development and address social crises. However, a debt jubilee also poses challenges such as the risk of affecting creditors, especially banks, and the need to establish systematic and fair process for restructuring debts. News of change. Gold Telegraph says this long-running monetary experiment is on fire. They are starting to panic because this experiment has started to take shape. One of the largest traders in agricultural products warns that the world is on the brink of a food war. James Grant believes that capitalism without financial failure is not capitalism at all, but a kind of socialism for the rich. Times are changing and people are realizing that their very existence means they must stand up to oppression or perish. NASA turns to Elon Musk's SpaceX to take the International Space Station out of orbit in a few years. A change in perception is a change in timeline. Everything appears based on what we believe to be true. The exterior is the interior. Dream of realities that others do not even dare to whisper. Looking Glass Project. Operation Disclosure Intelligence Alert. There is a possibility that the coalition has access to a top-secret technology known as the Looking Glass Project. This technology is said to have the ability to see the future by using a combination of quantum data collection, quantum computer modeling, artificial intelligence, and advanced visualization techniques to create a visual model of possible future events. But is the mirror or the Looking Glass Project real? As this time, there is not enough evidence to support the existence of the Looking Glass Project. Like the system of secret space programs, technology remains shrouded in mystery and conspiracy theories. However, the concept of being able to predict the future events has always been a fascinating and tantalizing idea. Assuming Project Looking Glass exists, the implications would be enormous. Economy. JP Morgan raises its silver price target to $34. The Fed is ready to raise interest rates again if inflation disappoints. IMF says US needs to address debt despite growth. IMF criticizes risky deficits, debt, trade rules, and banks. Mortgage rates fall for the fourth consecutive week. The Japanese yen reaches its lowest level in 38 years against the dollar. Sinfu believes that the ban on Russian natural gas is counterproductive and benefits China. India's digital currency transactions plummet due to lack of public support for digital currencies. This shows that there is little demand to use the digital rupee. The impending French parliamentary elections are weighing on French stocks and bonds, while UK financial markets have remained relatively stable ahead of the country's general election. The Bank for International Settlements urges central banks to quickly adapt to advances in artificial intelligence to make a game changer in various activities. What is fractional reserve banking? This system allows banks to keep only a fraction of their depositors' money in reserve and use the rest to extend credit and stimulate economic growth. The international monetary system is diversifying at an accelerated pace. China's officials seem pleased with the yuan's recent progress as global currency. The yuan has become the fourth most active currency in global payments. In trade finance, it now ranks third, and half of China's transactions with the rest of the world are settled in yuan. Europe. The 27 seek to close their pact on von der Leyen with Meloni against. Temperature rebounded in Italy after strong storms. Spain looks in the mirror in the French elections. Heat of up to 38 degrees Celsius, rain and storms with the hail put 10 Spanish regions on a yellow warning. Americas. AMLO asks that emigration not be used as an excuse to blame Mexico. Military personnel withdraw from the headquarters of the Bolivian executive after the attempted coup d'état. Former commanders of Bolivian Army, Navy, and Air Force arrested for attempted coup. The attempted coup d'état in Bolivia failed because the opposition forces did not receive support from the population, and in addition faced strong criticism. The government of Bolivia believes that Zúñiga didn't carry out the coup because it took a while for his reinforcements to arrive. The government of Bolivia rejects the version of the self-coup d'état. In quotes, it is false, inconceivable, and reckless. It says. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.